now that it's aged and worn down a bit, this looks better than screen used. This actually looks meaner. Yeah. It has more character to it.
So these are the movie rooms. I know it's a little bit more boring than the other rooms.
Not at all.
but you know, you just got to take the punches and roll with it, and that's where we're at.
Okay, I mean, God, where do we even start?
We can go.
Yeah.
You know, so this I was waiting to bring up. You know, we were in the other room and we were discussing about me seeing the Gremlins in the Planet Hollywood, and they had a gremlin in a plexiglass case. And I saw that gremlin and I was like, oh, I want that gremlin. To have this in my possession now is crazy because this is something that I always wanted. When I saw that one in Planet Hollywood, and I'm sure that there's people that are watching that even remember that display. It was a display that Planet Hollywood had at Disney World. And it was really like one of the few props, unless you went to the Planet Hollywood restaurants, that you saw, you know, out and about. So this was something that was always on my want list. So to finally have that, and then we got Gizmo, that came years later, but all this stuff came from Rick Baker. Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. That's the Lilith's. That's the key that's supposed to bring her back that they throw and it busts. Worked with Angie on a movie, and we've become really good friends. She's a really good person.
Yeah, always. Anytime I think of Demon Knight, I think of that one. Yeah, because they came out same year.
Yeah.
You ever come across any Demon Knight stuff? Yeah,
I had the key from it.
You fucking hold dunk, po dunk. Well, then there, motherfuckers.
Wait, isn't the correlation between those two movies that?
Yes. Lilith is known in both movies.
Okay. I haven't watched Bordello of Blood in a while.
I'm almost positive that the Demon Knight, I went and watched it in a theater, but I'm almost positive that they cross. There is some same kind of world, I guess. But this is from The Silence, which was a Netflix movie that we liked, that they went off. I think they went off the vibrations or sounds. And then these are the eggs.
Nice.
This is from Bordello of Blood. This was Angie Everhart's skull in Bordello of Blood. It was Lilith's skull.
Very cool.
They used a lot of pyrotechnics to it and burned it, so it's metal.
Nice. And tell me about this guy.
Yeah, we go way back. All these we've had multiple conversations. We know a lot about each other. This is Leatherface from
Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yeah. I had other Leatherfaces, but this one was the one that I had that was the most complete. That's his hero mask. This mask, I originally had all the masks from the movie. There were 7 that were actually used. This one is the one, and I kept it because this is the one that you see very close up on screen when he's using the needle to sew it onto his face.
Okay.
This was the clean version, and then there was another mask later in the movie that looked just like this, but it was all bloodied up. Which I think you see it on the poster. That's it in that display, on the back of that display. But same. And then this is the costume, complete costume, stunt chainsaw that he would carry. And then these are my older brother's hands. We molded those to use for the display.
That's awesome.
Worked out good, yeah.
Got some big hands.
My brother's massive.
I can tell.
Yeah, he's massive.
When we met at Fear Fest a couple weeks ago, you were like, "Yeah, I have this piece." And
I
was
when I seen you, and we talked for a minute, and you started telling me, it's like I was telling you earlier. It's like minds can relate and click, quick, you know.
Yeah.
And when you were telling me about the Halloween films and how much influence and everything that it had on you as a kid, I was like, oh, I normally will not do that, but I knew we instantly would click.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to show you the video, and when I asked you where you were and you told me, and I was like, man, we've got to make this happen, you know?
Yeah.
Something fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
On your face. I could tell it on your face, you know?
I was like, hold up. You said, I didn't hear that right. You said you have a screen used H2O at your house.
Yeah, that's his knife, It came from Miramax. His overalls, and that's the Winston mask.
This is from the end of the movie, the decapitation scene.
Screen matched, yep, from Stan Winston. And that, I would say, as far as versions of that mask, that is definitely my favorite one. That would be my favorite.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because a lot of masks, you would think would be bad shape. They made these masks very good. They're thick.
Yeah.
They're thick. So
I gotta say, like, now that it's aged and worn down a bit, this looks better than screen use. This actually looks meaner. Yeah. It has more character to it.
Than actually seeing it on the screen. Because, when you see it on screen, they add filters and they add, different things that kind of sometimes can take away from the detail. You can't even pay attention.
Yeah. Now, are these coveralls?
Yes. All screen used, everything.
Use?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Chris Durand was a big dude. Yeah.
Well, you figure there's boots and he's on a, 3-inch thing. So standing up there, it probably wouldn't be as potent, but.
And what is this?
Those are the Asylum masks. I know that I have 4 of them. There's 3 up behind Michael Myers. And
the Asylum mask from which movie?
The Rob Zombie.
Okay.
Yeah. And 3 of them you can find on screen easily. The 4th one I got, I'm not sure which I can't.
Wow. Okay. They're up there.
Yeah, I can't remember. 3 of them you can find easy, and I don't know if I've even tried for the other.
And what was the story behind this 2018 mask?
So that would be from Rob Zombie 2, but this would be this was a test.
No, this one.
Yeah.
Wait. This one?
This is Rob Zombie.
Yes. That's from 2018.
Yes. And this would be the main this was the main thing that the studio would use as a display, I guess, like a concept or to go by. So they have a certain look, certain paint scheme, certain way they want the hair, which the hair's probably been jacked up since. But that's what that was their reference to keeping the studio, that all the masks needed to be like that. And it may be signed. Whoop. No, you see, it's just foam. It's literally like a foam-filled mask.
So cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love that mask. Like they nailed that mask in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. These boots here, screen used or?
Yeah, everything is used. Yeah. I think everything we had. The Jason. I think the Jason boots we added.
Yeah, we'll get to Jason in a second here. Yeah, there's Jason boots. Wow, platform boots.
I think those. I can't remember if we made those or not. Shoes are always the most difficult to get because if there's 6 costumes or 8 costumes or however many, there'll be 1 pair or 2 pairs of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So you could pay money for a costume and the shoes be as much money as the costume.
Right. Yeah, I can't get over how good this mask looks. It's much scarier than the movie version now that it's kind of aged a bit, and that's so cool.
Then you got Freddy versus Jason, which is so Freddy versus Jason was like Aliens versus Predator to me. It was finally the meetup that we always wanted and always hoped for.
Yes.
Never thought it would happen, and they did. In the movie, I watched it 2 or 3 times. I enjoyed it right as soon as it came out.
Yeah, it I still love it. It holds a special place in my heart. Yeah. It's incredibly stupid, but I love it.
But that's like campy, that's horror almost.
Yeah, so
the mask is screen used, the suit screen used, the machete he has is his hero machete, so it's metal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a buddy of mine managed to get, I think, 6 masks from it. That was one of them. That's how I ended up with it. So that was the only thing I had lacking, that complete costume. I had a Jason Goes to Hell mask on it originally because I didn't have a mask. And then when I had access to that one, I was like, I got to get that mask.
You had a screen used Jason Goes to Hell?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Dude,
what'd you do with that one?
I got multiple from Kane Hodder years ago. Sold it to a collector.
Nice. Lucky bastard. What's this?
So this head, this is from I think it was the 2009 remake.
Okay.
Years is what I mean. I think it's 09, but this one was the hockey player.
Hey, guy, let me roll you a fat.
It's the first time we see Jason don his hockey mask. Yeah.
That's cool. And moving right over to Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, Robert Englund suit. That's his costume, hero glove, and hat.
Have you ever shown this to Robert Englund?
No. You know, it's crazy. As many times as I've gone to conventions and everything else and even taken part. I mean, Doug Tate, who was a stuntman for Jason, him and I are very good friends.
Yeah.
And I took these.
Hosting a panel in September with him up in Virginia Beach.
My name with Tate.
Okay.
So he signed this.
You should come up for it.
Yeah, where's it going to be?
Virginia Beach. Tidewater or HorrorCon.
When is that?
September 12th through the 14th.
We'll be in contact for sure. But,
okay.
But we were just talking. Jessica wanted to go to Virginia Beach. Pretty much September's easy.
Hey, you can do the panel with me if you want to ask questions with me.
Yeah, dude, Doug. So Doug,
you like surprise?
Doug contacted me and asked me if he could use these characters for the first Mad Monster. And that's how I ended up deciding to do an exhibit there.
Mm-hmm.
But I took these for him, and I was like, dude, you got to sign the bottom of the base for me. So that's how I got him to sign it for me.
Man.
I need, so that's resin. I need to get some screen-used prosthetics and have me like a legit face made. Those are so cool, dude.
Yeah.
Originally I got.
Hope you don't mind me.
No, you're good.
I never have an opportunity to
fragile. No.
touch film history.
Actually, I tell you, probably, I'm sure we'll meet up again. I have another one of these gloves, and you have to put it on,
dude. All right, moving along to Pinhead. I'm like,
Pinhead, man, Doug Bradley. So these, I have recently talked to Gary Tunnicliffe about this suit. He was in awe that that it had survived. He wanted to know like where it come from and all that. And I told him, come to find out, we thought, me and the guy I got it from, that it was only used in Hell World, but he actually used it in two movies. There was Hell World, and it was either the one before or the one after. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I got him to send me. And then the puzzle box, is from Hellraiser 3.
Whoa.
I used to have a Hellraiser 1 box, but sold it. At Christmas time, when we have our great Christmas party, we come in here and dress them up. I've got pictures of them during the Christmas party. So a lot of them were Christmas hats, and then I put a present bow on this box.
That's awesome.
This is Samara from The Ring 2. And this one I had her dress for ages, and it was just her dress floating. And then ended up that Rick Baker sold me the mask and the arms and the legs. And I mean, the costume is complete. It even has the underdress, and then you could see how she would put these on. It was almost like pantyhose or leggings.
Mm-hmm.
You would just slide your legs, and the arms are the same. They stop about right there. She could slide her arm in it and do what she needed to do.
Very cool.
Crawl to the TV. Body snatchers. These are body snatchers. That's another favorite. That one is not. Yes, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Dude. Crazy.
There's things in the bottom where they would stick an air pump to them to make them like throb, like a heartbeat. Yeah, you've got, so that is Puppet. It's from Gremlins 2. The logo is wrong, but it was from Gremlins 2, and that's one of the miniature Gremlins puppets that you see in like the theater and everything when they start melting. You got Beetlejuice, this shirt. This is screen matched. You can match it to the patterns.
We even shop at the same store. Wait, is that Levi's?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I wonder if they made any money on that.
I don't know.
Hey, guy, come on. We're simpatico here. Look at us. Huh, we even shop at the same store. Hey,
Hermano.
How did you acquire that?
That came from Prop Store ages ago.
Okay.
I mean, ages ago. I had that, and I had the little miniature art sculptures that come to life. I had those puppets. I had a sandworm.
Sandworms. You hate them, right? I hate them myself.
Yeah, Barbara's. That's her transformation mask. So
I mean,
there's been a couple from Planet Hollywood, but they've all been replicas. This one was actually used.
that's so cool. And the hand that comes out of the
Yeah,
salad
the shrimp
bowl.
hand, yeah. Devil.
Amazing.
Then you got Billy from Saw, the puppet.
Yeah. Insane.
You got this is Zeus's mask from Army of the Dead. That was a recent zombie movie they done.
Oh yeah.
It was supposed to be in like an apocalyptic Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
The serpent tail is from Seven Faces of Dr. Lau. That was a Tony Randall movie, and this was like, think Eddie Murphy in The Nutty Professor.
Why do you buzz your tail like that? Why not? It's the most treasured gift of my ancestors.
Think of Tony Randall as Eddie Murphy because he played all the main roles.
Okay.
So they put him all the main creatures and Medusa and all that he played. Very old movie that I watched with my dad when I was young.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Yeah, that's her. That was Elvira's personal script. It's got all of her notes in it and all sorts of stuff like that. You got vials from Resident Evil. The thing in the front of it is from Monster High. Then you got, I know that's kind of like Monster High, but it is what it
Hey,
is.
it's cool, man.
Fallout. The skeleton puppet in the back is from Army of Darkness. That's a hero puppet. It's got the armature.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's got the armature and everything. In existence, that's the gristle gun.
Trying to get an up close shot of that. That's too cool.
The book on the bottom is from Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's the Book of Shadows. And then that's Kevin Bacon's mask from Halloween.
Whoa! That's cool.
And the bear is from a episode on, it used to be called The Outer Limits. And it's about a little boy who collects toys and props and stuff. And the bear comes to life.
Cool. And the Budweiser commercials?
Yeah, man.
Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, this is Bud, Wise, and the Frogs, and
Man.
Frank and Louie.
That was a phenomenon back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I still remember that. Oh, this is Gremlins 2. The skeleton.
Yep, that's the skeleton. That's in the movie. They take a picture of him, and when they take a picture of him, the light makes his skin fall off. And then that's Gizmo's. That's one of Gizmo's. The one on the wall up to the right is Gizmo's Xerox copy when he's on the printer when the gremlin.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the Xerox copies.
Too cool.
Resident Evil stunt guns.
Well, hello.
We have a special guest. This is Obi. He wanted to say hey.
Hey,
You
buddy.
say hello. You got to say hello to everybody. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you say hey.
Hey, buddy.
Crazy boy. This is the man. He's the man of the house. He runs it. He thinks he's king. King Obi. So from the Saw movie, Saw films for me were always a favorite. I when I was overseas, I would actually plan out my vacations of coming home in October just so I could go with the family to watch a Saw movie. So these props here are sentimental to me. This one is very important. This is from the first Saw movie. It's screen matched from whenever he was actually using it on his leg. You're fine.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I think I just
No, you're fine.
don't want to break something.
No.
All right, go ahead.
If you're gonna break anything, that's the best thing to break. This hacksaw is the one that you see actually at screen matches to where he is cutting on his leg. Tape recorder is from part 5, but and that was the one that Costas mainly used, and Costas Mandalore and I are good friends. We've worked on multiple movies together too. This one's cool. This is from Saw 2, and everybody would cringe from the needle pit. So
Yeah.
Shawnee Smith, when she plays Amanda, she would lay over her arm, and when she would lay over her arm, they would take this and do this with it. And then she would obviously scream in pain and act like how, being made of silicone, it's translucent. So you can see the
Yeah.
veins inside. It gives it depth. So it looks just so real,
Yeah.
And then we have a head trap. This was Eddie's bloody head trap when the bolts go inside and squish his temples.
That is cool.
Anybody that's fan, I think for me, Saw, anybody that's like into steampunk, industrial stuff, Saw is the movie, you know, because
Sure. Yeah.
it just looks it's so into that realm.
And this is a not very well-known horror movie. It's called The Exorcist?
I think so. I think that's
okay.
the name of it. This is Father Merrin's suit from it.